I marvel at this, and I thank God that they are young women in the freest society in the world. And so I remain, on their behalf, in renewed optimism. Ratna Omidvar. My final letter is written a month ago. I've been in Canada now 29 years. Dear Canada, we have now known each other close to 29 years. As I look back on these years, I am overwhelmed with a sense of appreciation for the life that I have, the work I do, my friends and my family. But most of all, I value the freedom we have and enjoy and sometimes take for granted. As I examine my emotions and search for a way to describe them, I am left with one overriding feeling: I belong. This intense feeling comes to me at strange moments, when every spring, the daffodils that we planted on the hill raise their sunny heads. I know I belong. When I come back to Canada from travels overseas and I check in with the customs officers who look like me, I know I belong. When I hear our Governor General talk about her life as the child of refugees, I know I belong. When I say, what a glorious day when the temperature is only +2, I know I belong. And when my heart stopped as Sidney Crosby put the puck in the goal in overtime for Canada, even when I understand very little of hockey, I know I belong. I also know that as a member of the Canadian family, I can and must play my part in dealing and healing the family problems that I have inherited, along with the benefits. Our ongoing issues and problems with reserve and off-reserve Aboriginals, our tensions with Quebec, poverty, injustice, and equity, to name a few, the future of healthcare and education, these are now my issues. I cannot understand sometimes that we don't do the things that make the most sense in order to leapfrog us to success. I remember the bonding that took place with other parents as we nursed cups of steaming coffee in cold gymnasiums and cheered our daughters on as they competed with others. I think we stand a much better chance of building a nation on hockey, cricket, and football fields in Canada, cheering our kids along as they play with others, than we can in lonely ESL classes in strip malls. It concerns me that even though immigrants make up the majority of the population in the GTA, we still speak about immigrant issues, problems, and solutions as silo issues. It worries me that we are not working hard enough at mainstreaming immigration, but continue to go down the road of providing separate services to separate people. I speak to at least 5 or more immigrants every week who call me for advice. First, I tell them to keep their name. But I also tell them about the bargain they have signed on. We must live up to our end, work hard, learn the ropes, the language, take comfort from our community, but also reach out and make new friends. Invite more people to dinner, go bowling with them. We must obey the law of the land, even when this may collide with our personal values. We must be open to new ideas and not live in bubbles that hold us hostage to old ways of thinking. We must become joiners, political parties, resident associations, environmental movements, cooking clubs, knitting clubs. It's easy to get involved. I tell them, find a mentor, become a volunteer. I also tell them that standing on the sidelines is not an option for anyone, but it is definitely not an option for immigrants. Democracy, I know, is supposed to belong to all of us. But I have observed it always belongs more to those who participate in it. So participate we must. And finally, I tell immigrants, someone will reach out and help you. And so when it is time, remember to pay it forward. Canada, as for you, I think you too must live up to your end of the bargain. You put too much stress and attention on what the immigrant must do. You put out lofty ideals and fail to follow them up with practical actions. You, your institutions and attitudes are often too rigid, failing to keep pace with changing times and demographics. Your politeness can be misinterpreted as a thinly disguised veil for covert discrimination and racism. You expect the immigrant to do most of the hard work. You forget that change is a two-way street, and that as we change and adapt, so must you. You close your eyes to the fact that as future members of your society, we not only step into your metaphorical home, but in time, we will want to rearrange the furniture. After all, It is and will be as much our country as it is yours. I don't think this is hard for you to do. It is built into your DNA. You're still writing your story. You're a young country. Without the rigid constraints of centuries of history, war, religion, you are free to create something new and unique. For all your much reputed timidity, I believe that you are remarkably courageous. You are unafraid of building a nation with people from all over the world, regardless when they came. You are willing to take the risk of allowing every new immigrant to leave their own mark on your character and personality. I believe it takes remarkable self-confidence to see oneself as a constant and unending work in progress. I have possessed 3 passports in my life. I was born an Indian, I married an Iranian, and finally, I earned the Canadian passport. Whilst the first 2 were almost accidental or coincidental, this last one, I believe I have earned. I belong, not unlike many immigrants, to more than one world. When I go back to India, the moment the plane opens its doors, my knees go weak at the smell and the sounds and the sights of the country where I was born. For the first 2 weeks, I am in thrall of the color, the noise, the music, the busyness, the curiosity, the conversations, the hustle. But after some time, I begin to grasp that I am a visitor now in India, that I am both of that world, but not of it. I am more Canadian in my sensibilities, and the Canadianness in me is accentuated even more when I'm not in Canada. I'm always more than happy, in fact, very relieved to come back to Canada and the place I call home. Here I have safety, I have security, I have familiarity, I have confidence. This is where I now belong. This is my home. And so I see that over these 30 years, how much like you I have become. We are both slightly insecure, somewhat imperfect, overly sensitive, jealous of our rights, anxious about our responsibilities and our place in the world. We are fierce about being recognized for who we are. Nothing gets us more agitated than being confused with others. Our inherent modesty prevents us from being loud about our accomplishments, yet we know and recognize that a new confidence and pride is in the air. We have an uncurbed enthusiasm about the future, although neither of us quite knows how we're going to overcome our challenges. We are both, I believe, in the best spirit of optimism, still in the making, and I hope we will always remain so. And for these and many more reasons, I remain your ever-admiring and loyal citizen. Thank you.